I mean, it's obviously it's my C1 and it's broken in 2 spots, so obviously I want to be very smart about that. I was very fortunate, so yeah, I just want to make sure I'm making the best decision for myself. So we'll see in March.
How you feeling?
I feel great. Honestly, I'm really thankful for that. I don't have any nerve issues, no strength issues, no impairment whatsoever. It's obviously just to get back in the ring to do what we do. I want to make sure my C1's rock solid, but other than that, I'm very blessed. I feel great.
Elaborate a little more about why you're here at State Farm Arena. We understand WWE has a holiday event that'll be coming up. Can you give us some deep information on that?
Yeah, the 27th we'll be here for a live event. It's going to be a big one, a combined show. That means like Raw and SmackDown here. Atlanta's own Austin Theory will be in a cage match with Seth Rollins. So it's what we do. We travel the country, especially Christmas time is huge for us. So that week we stay on the road, and obviously Atlanta's a huge town for us. So we're excited to come back to Atlanta.
How was it wrestling and tag teaming with Trey?
Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun, man. We were at the Garden, obviously huge heel, especially after you knocked the Knicks out that season. So I knew we were all giddy because what we do is all about crowd engagement, it's about reaction. And so I knew as soon as the crowd saw him, he'd get nuclear heat, and he did. They did not care for him. It was beautiful.
Saw you met up with John Collins pregame. Were you able to talk to him? I know he's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I feel like there's just something about wrestling that brings the kid out of people. And, like, that was him. And also, we're both Floridians as well, so we got to talk about that. But, no, it was a pleasure to talk to him about wrestling, for sure.
Cool. Can you elaborate a little bit more? I know growing up in the 80s and 90s, you didn't see too many African-American wrestlers. And I actually remember being a little boy and seeing Ahmed Johnson for the first time. So can you talk to me about how the game has grown for African-American wrestlers yourself, and we see so many more famous ones?
Yeah, that's huge, man. I'm so proud of just the amount of talent across the board. You look at one of the very biggest stars in our industry, that's Bianca. She's been absolutely killing it, not just in the ring, but outside of it. I'm getting goosebumps because I think just seeing the way that like little girls from all backgrounds and colors, the way they like connect with her is so cool. Seeing her husband Montez, his partner Dawkins, like they're Bobby Lashley, obviously, and Bobby is in his mid-40s, and I don't know what this man is made of because I think he's aging backwards. One of the most impressive athletes I've ever been around. But you look across the board, Ricochet, man, there's so many black talent who aren't just there to fill a quota or to we need more black talent, so here they are. But they clearly are so talented, they deserve to be in the spots they're in. So I'm really proud of the progression. There's still, obviously, there's more work to be done too. But it's been really cool to see the amount of really talented black talent come along the last few years.
Who was your favorite wrestler coming up?
I was a big Goldberg fan as a kid. I met Goldberg as a kid. Obviously, from Atlanta too, played ball at UGA. But there was just something about Goldberg at that time. The crowd, every time he came out, was losing their minds. He was a football guy as well. I actually got to meet him at a signing, man, this is probably in the late 90s. And he was incredible. I always think about that because we might have had a 30-second interaction, but he had a smile on his face. I was wearing suits because we were about to go to church with my dad, and I remember he complimented us on our suits. But just that small 30-second interaction, I remember that more than 2 decades later. So that means a lot to me. And then to be able to get to work with him side by side when he returned, man, that was very cool for me.
I'm glad you just mentioned a moment ago about the young ladies who are loving WWE and the women that are actually involved in WWE. This question is from my daughter. She's a big fan of yours. She's 12 years old. And she wanted to know if you had the opportunity to tag team with a female wrestler, who would it be and why?
Oh, Bianca. Do you see what that woman does in the ring? That's an athlete. She's ridiculous, but she can do it all. And she's just so authentic, and she's just herself, and that's all she needs to be. And so I'm just a big fan of her. But yeah, that's a slam dunk. And that's easy. That's cake. It's Bianca.
What would you say to fans who are new to wrestling or want to watch wrestling or want to get into it?
I say definitely give it a shot. I know a lot of people, still there's a stigma that we're working on breaking down. But I think a lot of people have this idea of what wrestling was like in the 80s, but things have changed. And I think one of the coolest things is coming to a show. Come to a show. I get it, watching on TV is awesome, but you come to a live event, and I've had so many people who were just on the fence, they were borderline fans, they came to a show, and they were hooked because it's fun. Once you get an opportunity to let back, to be a kid, It really is so much fun, especially live events, and that's why people need to come out on the 27th to the State Farm Arena for that live event, because I'm telling you, especially us as performers, we love those live events because it's not as strict as TV. We have time to play around with fans, to interact with kids. You see the bad guys, the heels, they go up and they antagonize people, and that's fun. That's what we do, and that's a huge part of our business. So definitely, I think coming to a show can definitely change your mind. If you're on the fence, come to a show.
I got another question from a fan that asked me earlier to ask you, what is your favorite gimmick?
Oh, my favorite gimmick. Oh, that is a very good question. That's a great question. It might be Sting. Sting, that's a great gimmick, and he's still doing it. How? Yeah, I was a little kid, and then he was like here, and he's still going. He's gonna outlast me. But yeah, Sting, especially in WCW with the Crow gimmick, he used to come down from the rafters too, and he was just with a bat. That was cold. Sting was cold, man. Yeah.
2 more questions, guys.
What's it been like working with WWE recruitment?
It's been fun for me because I resonate with it, because I was a football player at Iowa with a bunch of injuries. My career was over, and I'm thinking, now what do I do with my life? And I didn't really know. I was going to grad school, but I didn't really feel fulfilled. So for me, I love being able to, I feel like I can go back in time to 13 years ago and look at young men and women in a very similar position as me, who are seeing the end of their college career. You spend so much of your time invested in your sport. So many of us, we play our sport since 4, 5, 6 years old. It's all we know. And of course you're in school, you're working hard at that, but it's something you love, and then it's just gone. And for me, being in the ring wasn't the same as playing football and having my hand in the dirt, but it still filled that athletic void. Like the ability to go out there and hit people and run and jump and do all those things. I felt like a kid again. I felt free. So for me, I love doing it because it's an opportunity to reach out to college athletes and let them know, hey, WWE might not have been something that was on your radar. You might not have even considered this, but I'm telling you, it changed my life dramatically. I've been able to travel the world, entertain people all across the globe. It's an incredible experience. So for me, I love it because I love college sports and I so resonate with college athletes. And being able to present this to them is something that really connects with me.
Yeah, off base, follow up to that, going to Iowa, we were at a basketball game. Just wanted to know what you thought of Caitlin Clark.
She's dope, man. It's so cool to see what she's doing and seeing the way the community just loves her and embraces her and seeing her connect. I got a chance to do Big Noon Kickoff, and I was talking to Matt Leinart the day before, and he was talking about just going out and shooting hoops with Caitlin Clark. And it's cool that she's like a star. People from outside of, we think of, I'm kind of an honorary Iowan, so I'll throw myself in there. But it's such a tight-knit group, and I love that she is she's bigger. She's getting outside those confines of just Iowa. And so it's just really cool to see what she's doing, to see her brand grow. There's so much pride. The people in Iowa just love her so much, so it's really dope.